let's be real for a moment. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA, she detonated it. We all saw what happened during that historic 2025 run, with broken records, sold-out arenas, and a level of gravity we've never seen in the history of women's basketball. For the Indiana Fever, it was the start of something legendary, fueled by a growth in fan engagement and global interest that exceeded all previous records. But as we stand here in January 2026, the honeymoon phase is officially over. The lights are brighter, the stakes are higher, and the Indiana Fever are staring down a nightmare scenario that could dismantle their progress before it even fully peaks. I'm talking about the 2026 expansion draft. With two new powerhouses, the Toronto Tempo and the Portland Fire, officially joining the ranks, Indiana's roster is under siege. How do you protect a generational talent when the league is literally trying to pluck your best players away to build new franchises? This isn't just about one player anymore, it's about the survival of a potential dynasty. The WNBA is growing, which is incredible for the sport, but it's a massive strategic headache for a team like Indiana. With Portland and Toronto entering the league, an expansion draft is looming, and it is a brutal process. Each existing team can only protect a handful of players on their roster. Everyone else is fair game, essentially up for grabs for the new teams to take. Obviously, Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston are off limits. They are the foundation, the sun and the moon of this franchise. But basketball is not played 2-on-5. The Fever spent the entirety of 2025 building something rare: chemistry. They found a rhythm and discovered who thrives next to Caitlin's vision. But if Toronto or Portland swipes their starting small forward or their most reliable bench spark plug, that hard-earned chemistry evaporates in an instant. There is a real debate raging across the league right now regarding whether the WNBA's rapid growth is actually a penalty for the teams that drafted well and built correctly. Indiana is the poster child for this dilemma. Before we break down the specific player at the heart of this impossible choice, I have a question for you. Do you think the WNBA is expanding too fast, or is this just the price of greatness? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you want the deepest dives into the business and stories behind the league, subscribe to True WNBA Stories right now. We are tracking every roster move, every secret negotiation, and every lockout rumor this offseason so you don't miss a beat. Join the community and hit that notification bell. Let's talk about the most underrated, yet vital duo in the entire league, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. Last season, Mitchell proved to be the perfect lightning to Caitlin's thunder. Her ability to run the floor, her elite speed, and her knockdown shooting are exactly what allows Caitlin to be Caitlin. Without a secondary scoring threat that defenders actually fear, teams would just triple-team Clark and take the ball out of her hands every single possession. But here is the million-dollar dilemma for the Fever front office. Kelsey Mitchell is a high-value target for any expansion team looking for an instant star and veteran leadership. If Indiana leaves her unprotected to save a younger prospect with potential, she's gone in a heartbeat. But if they protect her, they might lose the defensive grit or the interior depth they desperately need to survive a deep playoff run. It's a chess match where every move feels like a sacrifice. Protection isn't just a term used for a draft list, it's a physical reality that happens on the hardwood every single night. We all saw the physical toll the league took on Caitlin in 2025, the hard fouls, the full-court presses, and the defensive aggression that would break most veterans. In 2026, the Fever don't just need scorers, they need an enforcer. They need a veteran presence who stands up and says, "If you touch our point guard, you have to deal with me." But how do you find a spot for an enforcer when you're already fighting to keep your starters? While Indiana is scrambling, the rest of the league is reloading. The Dallas Wings just secured the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 draft. If they land Paige Bueckers, we are looking at a collision course between two of the greatest college rivals in history, now on the professional stage. This changes the math for Indiana. The window for a Fever championship is wide open, but it might be narrower than we think. To move from being a playoff team to becoming a true dynasty, they need a roster that is expansion-proof. The 2026 season is going to be the most scrutinized and intense year in the history of the WNBA. Indiana has the star of the century and the most passionate fan base, but the question remains whether they have the management to keep the ship steady through this expansion storm. The decisions made in the next few weeks regarding this roster will echo for the next 10 years. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the high-stakes world of the Fever, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow and keep the conversation going. And for our full scouting report on how Paige Bueckers fits into the Dallas Wings and how that impacts Caitlyn's path to a ring, click the video on your screen right now. Subscribe to True WNBA Stories to stay ahead of the game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.